Hello, business building warrior. Got a treat for you today. Thanks for joining me on Silent Sales Machine Radio, the podcast that was recently voted #1 in the industry for Amazon sellers. Huge honor. Thanks for spreading the word. We have a $0 marketing budget for this show. The only reason it's become so popular is because you tell people about it. So thank you. If you've sent friends to silentjimdotcom to get encouraged and inspired about building a real business online from a time-tested, proven team of leaders who take what we do very seriously. We've been doing e-commerce coaching longer than anyone in the world. Did you know that? We've got an e-commerce coaching company, 24 years old at this point. We've coached about 10,000 people. So many great success stories. And this show consists of great interviews with many of those students who are willing to step on the show and share their stories. So today we have another proven Amazon course success story. We're going to meet Vernon Johns here in just a moment. He's built a business that's going to do about $1 million this year at phenomenal net profit margins. He shares all the details today. He's also got some stuff going on Walmart, a really small team. It's he and his wife and some in-laws, a couple in-laws. That's it. Small team, killing it. Bright future, adding new products to their catalog constantly, following the replens program that we teach in the Proven Amazon course. Part of our community came to our event recently. He talks a little bit about that on today's episode. He uses some tools and we talk about some strategies today. There'll be links to all of that in the show notes. If you want to jump down near this, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's this description that has the links, or if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, the links are in the show notes to everything we're going to talk about today. And if this is one of the first episodes you've ever heard of our show and you think, wow, I'd love to hear more success stories like this, I've got some really good news for you. Just scroll back in time. We've got hundreds and hundreds of interviews with great people, real people, in many cases, zero online experience, zero business experience, but they've gone on to build beautiful businesses because we've built fantastically predictable systems here. Building a business always has been and always will be risk, blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice, grit, delayed gratification, right? There's a skill set that comes with doing anything worth doing in life. All those same character traits come with it. But once you understand that and you realize that making money online isn't just a matter of hitting a few buttons at the right time and shiny little websites pop up and make you bunches of money. That's not how it works. There's actually work. But we've built the system and we're playing in the largest pool of opportunity online, which is Amazon, which is where about half of all transactions every day on the internet take place, Amazon.com. No matter where you live in the world, you can do this business. We'd love to have a conversation with you about it, actually. If you want to hop online, hop on the phone, I should say, or a Zoom call or phone, or even just text us and get some consulting about what the next best step would be for you in building a great business online. We'd love to talk to you. Go to silentjim.com/book a call. Silentjim.com/book a call. And you'll see a phone number there you can call, you can text us, or you can hop on our calendar and grab a specific time that works for you. Let's talk you through your best path forward. It's not a high pressure sales pitch. It's just getting to know you and telling you what our resources are. We've got incredible free resources we'd love to tell you about, some very inexpensive, low end courses and things that are on the low end of the price scale, I should say, but industry leading, consistently voted the industry leading content for Amazon sellers. If you're brand new, we'll walk you through it baby step at a time. Or maybe you want a coach to go further faster. We talk about that a little bit today with our guest as well. How a coach can make you go so much further, so much faster if you're well positioned to take advantage of it. A little side note about our coaches, and then we'll jump over and meet Vernon. All of the coaches on our team are people who have used the Proven Amazon course training from provenamazoncourse.com. Go check it out. There's a link in the notes, show notes, provenamazoncourse.com students who've built beautiful businesses and then demonstrated that they have a teacher's heart, meaning they're able to convey to others the lessons they've learned and help keep people from going off the side of the road, showing them where the guardrails are, showing them how to turn on their headlights, making sure they're on a nice flat straight highway. Let's go. You're going to go so much further, so much faster if you've got a mentor and a coach helping you. We'd love to talk to you about that as well. So get on our calendar. Let's have a conversation. silentjim.com/book a call is the number. All right. Well, thanks for being the best part of our show, the listeners. Let's go on over and get Vernon on the line right now. You're going to enjoy this. So, Vernon, welcome. Good to see you, man.
Hey, you as well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is a great part of the gig that I've got around here, interviewing our students and checking in on them, seeing how they're doing. So, you ready to get into your story?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah. Let's do it, man.
All right. So I first got into e-commerce back in 2019. Me and my wife were doing like wholesale pallets and stuff like that. And
Okay.
I was actually on recruiting duty in the Marine Corps, and I realized that I wasn't going to have the time to actually be able to meet people for physical sales like we were doing before. So I was looking for something to where I could still, move items, still buy and sell and everything like that. But I needed a platform that was going to free up a lot of my time because being in the military is very, time extensive. So we discovered Amazon. I started watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I decided, hey, this is something worth pursuing. So we started with just used books. Didn't want to invest a whole lot of money into it, and just started with that, sending a few books to Amazon. And before I knew it, we were having success with that. So just kind of kept it going. And then I was watching other videos and stuff, as we were moving books and other items. Stumbled across Jimmy Smith, started watching some of his videos and his content, and just realized that he was somebody that was successful, doing this business full time. So I realized that it could be a possible full time gig for us. So I had the conversation with my wife. She's been a huge help and my business partner all along the way with the Amazon thing. She really keeps me organized. But I had the conversation with her that, hey, whenever I get out of the military, this is something that I want to pursue full time. And she believed in the dream and worked alongside me. And we've been getting this thing going. So now I'm part of the Legends community. So that's a huge help. I'm going through the content there. Recently, we've kind of gotten stuck between like 60 and 70,000 a month in sales, and I wanted something to kind of put me over that curve. And I actually met Jimmy Smith at the Proven conference, so I got to shake his hand and everything. Had some conversations with him, and I knew that he was a genuine guy. So that's what actually got me to the conference. I had never heard of the community before then, and went to the conference. Truly life changing. I told my wife whenever I got back, I told her, that there's a few times in your life to where you have days where you just know like everything's changed for you. And after that conference, some of the people that I met and everything, I knew that everything had changed for me and our business and our future. So it's been huge. Met some incredible people. I tried to get to as many classes as I could while I was at the conference, but honestly, just the conversations that I've had, the people that I've met, and just the growth that I've had in e-commerce has just been insane. So I'm really excited about our future and kind of the path that we're taking here.
That's
So.
phenomenal. So you said it was a life-changing experience, the conference. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, I'll stick a link in the notes. We don't even have our next event planned right now, but theprovenconference.com is the website for our events. And we just had one here a few weeks ago. Hundreds of us were there and live, and 1,500 people total live stream, and quite an event, 50 sessions. But you just called it life changing. So put a little more story behind that. How so? Like in what way do you feel like it's had that significant of an impact on you, your life, and your business?
Well, I just felt like if I just got to the conference, that I would find some of the answers that I was looking for, and some of the classes that I sat through. It's just really, really good information. It was very eye opening, like some parts of business that I didn't even know existed, like some different options that I had,
Mm,
and then mainly just the people that I've met as well. If you're around like-minded people that are playing at a high level and really striving
right.
to better their craft and everything, that is so important. And that's something that I would like to emphasize for anybody that's trying to do this thing is you don't want to hang out with people that are lazy or making excuses and stuff like that. You want to hang out with people that are problem solvers, that are constantly learning, and those were the types of people that go to those conferences and that conference specifically. But I met some of the coaches that you have. I have actually have about six friends from the conference now that I stay in contact with almost on a daily basis. And just some of the ideas that we've shared and some of the kind of ideas, that we've came up with together, putting our heads together and stuff has been incredible. So, but Mainly just the conversations that I had, the phone numbers that I was able to get, and the contacts, through that, and then just sitting through the classes and just kind of being open minded, taking a lot of notes to different ideas, different ways to do things. I think is super important.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. It's a powerful environment. I think, we've done it 13 times now. It's been voted as an industry leading event and conference for sellers. But the thing I think that makes it so special, and the reason we've lasted longer than any other Amazon seller event in the world, we know we've been doing this a long time, is because it's so relational emphasized, relational focused, I should say. There's an illustration that I think kind of paints a picture of what makes it so special. As far as relationships go, we point out and we're very strong about encouraging make connections while you're here, get phone numbers, get people's contact information. Because if the only thing I know about somebody, here's how I like to illustrate it, is let's say I've never met you, I don't know anything about you, but I know that you've run a profitable business for an extended period of time. It really doesn't matter what the business is. You've run a profitable business for an extended period of time. You get in a room full of people like that, it's a special environment, because if that's all we know about someone, we've never met them, we don't know if they're male or female or if they're educated, we don't height, weight, we don't know anything. Just they've run a profitable business over an extended period of time. We know a lot about that person. We know
Absolutely.
that they're a person of 99% chance they're a person of integrity. They know what it means to work hard. They know what it means to network and to build relationships and to truly serve others. They understand delayed gratification. They're a disciplined person. They know things that could benefit your life. And I've even got a mentor of mine who said, I'll take an entrepreneur over clergy, doctor, professor, blue collar professional, lawyer, accountant. Just give me someone who's run a profitable business, serving customers, building something. That's the safest bet you can make. So a room full of people like that is a very special environment. It really
Oh
is.
yeah,
And you're
definitely.
rubbing elbows with people who have multiple seven-figure businesses and saying, "Oh yeah, you need to try this tool. Oh, you don't do this strategy yet? Yeah, you've got to start doing this." I agree. It's life-changing for everyone. I've been to 13 of them, and it's been life-changing for me every time, each one in
Yes,
a
sir.
different way. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for letting me rant a little bit there because yeah, it is a special environment. And you can get the community in our Facebook group. It's not the same, but there's a lot of people that think that way who are part of our group. So it's an honor to have you here. Well, you mentioned you're doing about 60, 70 a month. That's a great place to be. What's your primary strategy now? I'm guessing it's not books still.
No, no. So I do some books on Walmart, and still for new books and stuff like that. But for the majority of the time, I'm doing RA. Believe in like so people say that like you can't scale RA, but we found a way to do it, and there's multiple people that are doing millions of dollars a year, with RA. It's just really what you put into it and what you're willing to learn, and just building those relationships, just actually going out, like talking to store managers, talking to the employees, and like helping them out, seeing what problems that they have in their business, what items they're trying to move and stuff. And then before you know it, people are, opening their doors to you and just saying like, "Hey, we have these items. Would you be interested into them?" And like I
Yeah.
have multiple contacts from, store owners, store managers, and stuff that are just trying to help. So RA has been a big part of it. Me and my wife do a lot of clothing and shoes. Some people will shy away from that from returns. But what I've found is one, it's replenishable, right? So people are going to need winter boots in the winter every year. People are going to need flip flops in the summer every year. So once you learn those sell cycles and stuff, when stuff goes on sales and everything, it really is like an evergreen system to where like you can buy when, in the summer when everybody's not thinking winter, that winter stuff goes on sale and then vice versa. So we've learned to kind of master that game, and you don't really have to hold on to stuff a lot because stuff year round sells on Amazon. We just had a person buy a winter coat for $140, like 2 days ago from us, and it's like
Here we
it's
are.
97 degrees here
Yeah,
in
hot
Georgia.
June, right?
Yeah.
I think the coolest spot in North America right now is probably about 80 degrees. The
But
people buying
people,
winter coats. Yeah.
yeah, but Amazon, I mean, they opened it up to where people are. I guess they're trying to get a deal, and maybe they are getting a deal at the time. But
Yeah.
we've had a lot of success with that, and then the way that we've been able to keep down our returns is just looking at our monthly sales, and we use Seller Board as one of the tools that we use. And every month I'll go back and review our sales and just say like, hey, this is how much we sold, and this is how many returns we had of each item. And if it's above like that 20% threshold for us, then we just don't buy, we don't replenish that item. If it's under that, then it's good. But the reason that I like retail arbitrage so much is because the ROI that we're able to get is well above 100%. Our minimum is 50%, but oftentimes I can find 100% or above. So that's a phenomenal, just return on your time, your gas, everything. Like it makes it worth it for us to be able to go into those stores and do that. So
yep, 100% ROI, man. I love it. Put $1 in, sell it for $3, put $1 in the bank after it's all said and done. Yeah, it's a great business to spin up. So what's your team look like? What's your process look like? How many of you are working this business?
So we have my wife's parents are part time with us. They do like all of our shoes and stuff. They do the prep for that.
Mm-hmm.
And if they ever watch this, I just want to say thank you because that saves us so much
Yeah.
time. And
Give them a shout out.
yeah, they're amazing people, and it helps them, because we're able to pay them well
Yep.
and everything. But they're able to do us such a service and actually free up a lot of our time.
Right.
And then my wife does a lot of our prep. She keeps us organized, and she ships out all the FBM orders that we have because we have a warehouse now as well. Actually on property, it's a pretty awesome setup. We just walk next door, get our items and stuff. But so we've been able to do some FBM. She handles that, and then we let Amazon and Walmart take care of a lot of this stuff. We send it into their warehouses, and they fulfill it. And then I do all the sourcing. My wife knows Keepa as well. She knows how to look at a chart and tell if something is good or not. But I do a lot of the sourcing, a lot of the shopping, and a lot of the heavy lifting, like taking the boxes to the post office if we have to drop stuff off and like that kind of stuff. So that's what it looks like. We're in the process. We're going to be interviewing a VA next week to help me with like some of the leads and everything, just to try to maximize like whenever I do go to the stores and everything, just finding more leads like that, and then getting into some OA stuff as well. And then in the future, when we do wholesale, we would like to get into like a bigger warehouse and actually hire employees for that. So that's kind of what the future is. But right now, it's just four of us. It's just me and my wife, and then her parents help us out kind of on the side there. So
Phenomenal.
yes, sir.
Yeah. How many ASINs are in your catalog, would you say, approximately?
We have around 600 right now. We actually just got a new shipment in, so maybe 650
Yeah.
for Amazon. And then for Walmart, we're looking at like 70 ASINs that we have currently.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a $60,000 to $70,000 a month business. Yeah, I think you guys are well positioned to grow. What's your growth plans from here? Like, what are the steps you're going to take? I know you got a VA on the horizon. What's the steps you plan to take to scale this to, let's say, double it, 100,000, 150,000 a month?
Right. So I'm watching the courses and legends right now to kind of get some SOPs. I think that's going to be huge. Just setting that up so that I can hire out people to do some of the stuff that is just eating away at our time right now, and that's going to allow me to source more, look at leads more, and then just kind of like just plan out the future with my wife of what the business looks like. But honestly, I think the biggest thing is going to trade shows right now and then getting some wholesale mixed in with that, just so I can place a purchase. It'd be super nice to be able to spend 20 or 30,000 with one company and not have to drive anywhere to do that, and just be able to process through those items. Even if the ROI is a lot smaller, whenever you have extra capital, you just need to get it back out there, making more money for you. So I think that wholesale is definitely part of it.
Yeah, that's a lot of. Yeah, I was just saying, keep deploying that capital. You could. That is a lot of driving around, hitting store shelves, 5 here, 7 there, kind of thing. When you can place an order, that's when I like to see people transition to wholesale. Is when they've kind of exhausted the retail arbitrage and they understand the game well, and they see like, oh wow, I could just buy a box of 20. They're not coming at it saying, well, all the good discounts are in wholesale. That's what a lot of people mistakenly think. But the difference in price between Walmart and most wholesalers is pretty thin on a lot of stuff. But it's the ability to place an order and get it all in one box, and you don't have to go to 3 stores and pay someone to drive around town to get your inventory that you need, right? That's the advantage of wholesale. So yeah, I love that. Phenomenal growth strategy. I would encourage you as well. Well, before I go there, just something for you to consider. I guess this is the right time to insert it. Something you guys should be looking at is 3P Mercury, in my opinion. With 600 ASINs, and you're going to have as a goal, it sounds like 1,000 or more, or 1,500, and just have a software tool that's telling you, hey, here's the top 20, top 30, top 50 ASINs that are making you the most money right now, and they're looking really good on a Keepa chart. So these are the ones to keep plowing forward with. Something for you to consider. because that technology behind that tool is really getting dialed in a special way right now. So just something for you to take a look at. I'll stick a link in
Yes,
the
sir.
show notes for people
Absolutely.
who don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love it. Well, what else is on your mind? I mean, you've painted a pretty cool picture for us. What was the timeline when did you start on Amazon? What did you say the date
So
was?
Amazon, we started in 2021. We
2021.
started doing like pallet, like physical, like liquidation pallets and stuff in 2019. We
Right.
transitioned to Amazon in 2021, and then we just started our Walmart store. I think mid last year, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe early this year.
Yeah.
This year has honestly been a blur because the growth and like the movement and everything has just been insane. It's like, I mean, our business has just exploded in the last year.
Hmm.
But we got Walmart off the ground so much faster because we had that base, that baseline with Amazon that we built. And
Right.
once you have that foundation, like it's pretty easy to transfer over to different platforms and stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Do
yeah,
you happen to know
so
your net margins offhand? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just
oh,
we thrown out the ROI, but approximately all combined, your Amazon, your Walmart, or you can break it down to about where are you at on the net margin?
so our margins with Walmart are phenomenal. I would say probably like 35-40% margins.
Nice.
We're just able to, there's just so much good stuff out there right now
Yeah,
because people don't have the research to actually, look at the history, or a lot of people don't know about the tools that you can actually use to look at that.
yeah.
So that stuff is just like insanely good whenever you can find it. It's just, finding the right stuff for that. But as far as for Amazon, we're looking at about 20% to 25%, just depending on the month. So,
That's really nice.
yes, sir.
That is a great flexible lifestyle business that you guys can really scale. You can automate. Yeah, I love it. I love that you guys are doing it together. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, that's huge.
Mhm.
That is definitely huge. I was worried, so I got out of the military last year. I retired from the Marine Corps,
Thank you for
and
your
I was
service,
actually able to
by the
go
way.
full time.
Thank you so
Um,
much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I was able to retire, and then because of our Amazon business, I didn't have to look for another job. We already had our business, and then we were able to just kind of just grow into it, and that's what we did. So my wife supported me 100%. There was, it was a little bit scary just saying like, hey, this is going to be our income. I had some for my military retirement and everything, but obviously it's not the same as when you're in. But our business had grown so much that we were able to actually replace my military income, and now we've exceeded that, and it's been a huge blessing. And working together like side by side every day, I can't say that there's no hiccups. We see things different ways
Of
sometimes, but
course.
I could not ask for a better business partner and like partner in life. My wife is amazing at keeping us organized and just like taking care of so much stuff. And then the days that I don't feel like doing anything, just having that partner that has that drive to keep going and like keep pushing and everything is just that's invaluable. It's really been pretty smooth as far as the transition, and it's been an awesome blessing for me just being able to kind of grow closer to her and then grow our business together. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wake up every day like ready to go, and a
Hey,
lot of that
that's
is because
awesome.
of what I have with her. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
all. I think there's going to be people who hear this episode and they're very encouraged by the possibilities of this because one of the sad realities that's kind of descended on our culture since maybe the 60s, 70s is an increasing need for husband and wife to go their own separate ways every day for an extended period of time in order just to have the basic middle class lifestyle that a lot of people want. And so you're coming home tired, you're giving your best hours to strangers, people that your spouse doesn't even don't won't even ever probably even know. You're building relationships, building things and doing meaningful work away from your family. And I'm not saying that in and of itself is tragic, although it does end in tragedy quite often, right? You give the best hours of your life to, something that completely keeps you away from your spouse. So when I hear of couples tackling this together, man, it just warms my heart because it doesn't mean it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows. You guys are going to
Right.
have discussions and differences of opinion, and you're gonna have to plow through those things. But that's healthy. That's
Right.
healthy, right?
Right.
And you're doing it together. And even if you kind of fail at times, you failed together. So it's that whole we're doing this as a team, and the effect I've said this a few times lately, so I apologize if you've heard me say this before now, and the listeners may have heard me say it recently too, but I was talking with our coaching director, it's been a little while back, but saying, I think what we've been doing for 20 years is maybe as much as we've been doing anything else, is we've been saving marriages, you know, because couples tackling these businesses together and getting under the same roof, removing some of the financial strain that otherwise might be there because now they've got
Right. No,
cash,
absolutely.
right? Which is the number one cause of divorce, financial strain, right? So yeah, pretty cool. I love hearing you describe the reality of that. Yeah, what's your wife's name?
Courtney,
Courtney. Yeah, got to give her a shout out, right? She sounds pretty amazing. That's great.
she is an amazing woman. And yeah, I didn't know what I was like, you know, getting as far as like business partner where we first got married. Like none of this was
Mhm.
in the works and everything, but
Right.
how it's come together. I mean, I thank God every day for that and for the life that I have now. It's
Man,
you know,
praise God. Beautiful.
I would like to say to anybody like it is definitely possible. Like you just climb your mountain and just take it a day at a time because when we first got together, I mean, I remember the conversation that really got me started in entrepreneurship. We were newly married, we were both in debt, and whenever we got together, and we had $15 in our account, and I called my wife and I was like, "Hey, I need gas. I know you need gas. Like, who needs gas more like in their tank and everything?" That's kind of where we started, and had a ton of credit card debt and just together have been able to put our heads together and now we're completely out of debt. We don't owe anything for our vehicles. We have no credit card debt. We're chiseling away at our house together and our kids have an amazing life. It's just, and it's all because I chose the right partner and just, we put our heads together and just put our heads down and got to work. And so for anybody out there, like you got to have the right people to build with, but
Hmm.
it is definitely possible. Even in today's economy, you can build the life of your dreams. You just have to be able to work for it,
Yep.
pray about it, and just put your head down. So
Hey, we'll get back to the great episode in just a moment. Sorry for the interruption, but I want to point something out. If you're enjoying this program, this podcast, could you do us a little favor? Could you spread the word? Send some friends to silentjimdotcom and say, hey, check out this podcast. Multiple streams of income, learn to sell on Amazon, great free content. Hey, help us spread the word. That's the way we market this show is you sharing with others. That's why we have over 6 million downloads on iTunes alone. And speaking of iTunes, would you leave us a review? We love to see those iTunes reviews rolling in. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes as well. That really helps us out in the industry to get recognition and gain followers and subscribers. If you subscribe yourself, leave us a review. By the way, did you know that this show that you're listening to right now was voted as the number one podcast for Amazon sellers by an independent survey in late 2024? That's right, the number one show for Amazon sellers. We won, and you're a big part of why. So thank you for being a listener. You're the best part of this show. But hey, help us spread the word if you don't mind. That helps us continue to bring you quality content, attract high quality sponsors and other listeners who will pay attention to what we're doing here because we want to teach you to use the internet creatively to launch and grow multiple streams of income. We need your help to spread the word. We want to help others do the same. All right. God bless you, business building warrior. Thanks for a couple moments of your time. Let's get back to the show.
you can build the life of your dreams. You just have to be able to work for it,
Yep.
pray about it, and just put your head down. So
Outstanding. Man, you're on a leadership trajectory. I mean, I already know a lot about you. I'll tell you what, man, I don't know you real well, but you show me a guy who's got a great relationship with his wife. And they're building something meaningful together, raising kids together with a biblical worldview, right? Served in the military, building a business that has a very bright future. Like you guys are sitting in a great position, and I would absolutely love for you to kind of be considering and thinking and praying about where this might lead as a leadership role in our community. Because, you know, if we were doing an interview, I'm like, well, interview's over. What do you want to do? Welcome to the team. Like you really get it. I can tell. It's just in your core. It's who you are. You're a no excuses guy. You've learned to, if the military teaches you anything, it's, persistence through murky confusion. It's just like you got to keep going forward, right? Just the qualities you've developed from being in the military mixed with business, great marriage. Man, if you were a stock, like I'm going to drop some cash on that stock because it's going up, brother. So yeah, it's an honor to get to know you and hear your story a little bit. But what else is on your mind, if anything? Any questions for me or any tips for the listeners? If there was anything that you had on your mind today that you were hoping to dive into, this is kind of your chance to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say if you're just getting started, find a mentor. Honestly, that's what changed my business is
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be somebody that you pay. It could be a friend that's a little bit further along in the business than you. But if you want to go fast in this business and you want to move faster than, stumbling over your own feet and like trying to figure every little thing out, just either get in a community or find somebody that's even 5,000 a month, ahead of where you're at right now and just pick their brain and just be open minded to new ideas. Because whenever I first got started, I thought that, being able to sell used books was like going to be it. I thought that that was going to do it. And then we got stuck at a certain dollar amount. And then I figured, hey, if I can get Nike, if I can start selling Nike, like that's going to be it. And I did that. And then you get stuck. But whenever I actually got a mentor and I started like following, just one or two people on YouTube or like get in a community and stuff, and you just start following the content that you actually need. Don't try to learn everything in every area. Just like whatever you're stuck on right now, just learn that to the best of your ability, and that's what catapulted my business. So I was stuck between like 6 and 8 thousand in sales, and then I got a mentor. I got my first paid mentor, and within a couple months, I was up to 30 or 40,000 a month that we were doing, and I just thought that that was amazing. And then I met a couple friends that were further along, and then it just continued to grow our business and stuff. So that's why I knew like going to the conference was going to be such a big thing because there's people that are doing $1 million or $5 million or $10 million a year, and I have access to be able to go up and shake their hand and say like, hey, what ideas do you have? Like, what do you know that I know? Who do you know that I should know?
Mm.
And I just asked those questions and just try to get as many numbers as I could. And then I also talked to the people that were a little bit behind me and they were wondering about like Keepa or like basic stuff that I already knew. I would take the time to actually learn and to teach them because I know that there's value in that as well, being able to teach. And who knows if one day they'll learn something and because I was able to help them, they'll turn around and help me. So just find a mentor, find people to be around. That's going to be huge. And also, like, there's not one way to do anything in this business. There's no, I mean, there are blueprints and stuff that are proven, but you're going to have to find your own way. Maybe it is retail arbitrage. Maybe it's online arbitrage. Maybe it's wholesale. There's no like right model as far as that. It's just whatever works for you, your lifestyle, and your business. That's what I found. So many people told me like, you're going to get stuck at retail arbitrage. I met a guy in a store one time. He was selling on eBay and he told me there's no way that you'll be able to provide for your family if you don't get employees. Like if it's just you and your wife, you'll never pass 8K a month in sales, is what he told me. And now, like, we're on
Right.
track. We're gonna hit over $1 million this year
Yeah. Oh, wow.
in
Beautiful.
sales. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that guy, unfortunately, I didn't have his contact or anything like that, but I always remember that conversation that he told me that, and I was like, dude, it's retail arbitrage, but it is possible to scale up to a certain level, and like I
Yeah.
believe that we can do it,
Oh,
and we
it
did. So
absolutely is. There's multiple seven-figure sellers
yeah,
who do only RA, like local sourcing only RA. And, they got a little bit of a team in many cases, people who drive around and,
right,
but I love how you emphasize building relationships with store managers, getting to know the people at those stores. Some people think doing RA means putting on your sunglasses, putting in your earbuds, pulling up your hoodie, and just standing in aisles and hoping no one asks you any hard questions, right? No, go in, tell them what you do. Yeah, I resell online. I resell on Amazon, on Walmart. If there's anything that you want me to take a look at in the back that's collecting dust, happy to do it. You know, could you place special orders for me so I don't inconvenience your other customers? And I don't want to clear the shelf of something that would upset you. So let's cooperate together. Let's make some money together.
right,
95% of store managers approached the right way will be amenable to that. And, even some stores like Target has a reputation. They don't like resellers. Well, there's going to be some managers that read that part of the manual and follow that part of the rule book. And there's going to be other managers that could care less. And like our
right,
Target is a great example. There's some managers that like, yeah, they're not too happy about resale. They don't want you to have more than 4 or 5 of anything in your cart. Okay, whatever. Then there's other managers, you go up and you say, hey, could I clear this whole area out? You got some swimming stuff here and we're in October and I'll just go ahead and clear out the rest of your winter stuff or your One time I went and bought a bunch of life jackets, kids' life jackets. They had a whole wall of them. They just marked them down 70%. And I said, if you mark them down 80%, I'll take all of them right now. And one manager said no. So I came back the next day with my daughter at a different time and made the same offer. And that manager said, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's clear it out. I'll help you load the carts. So, be persistent, build relationships. I love those tips, man.
Yeah, one of my best friends today, he's actually a store manager of one of the stores that I shopped at.
Mhm.
And I told him he was an assistant store manager when we met, and he was kind of a jerk to me. Like the first time we ever met, he was like, "Hey, why are you buying all that stuff?"
Yeah.
And then I just came back time after time, and we built that relationship. And I talked to that dude at least once a week, and I told him I was like, "If you ever are a store manager, I was like, I don't care where it is in the United States, I will come and see you." And I live in Georgia. He moved from South Carolina. Now he's in Oklahoma, and I've been out to see him twice now. And really, really solid dude. And that one relationship opened up so many doors for me. I'm just extremely thankful for that. Like it's made me, no joke, well over $100,000 just from my relationship with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, we still talk all the time. And it was just because I went in there and took a chance and, just was open and honest with them. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing is like the honesty with them
100%.
about what's going on. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
but yeah, so absolutely, like you don't have to be scared. Like people are gonna look at you if you're like scanning stuff. People are gonna look, or if you have like a million things in your cart, people are gonna see a certain, think a certain way or whatever. But I look at it like that doesn't pay the bills for my family. So. And I'm just so used to it now. Like I don't even notice if people are watching or what they're saying or anything like that. But
Right. You
um,
you build a kind of an immunity to
right, right,
that's necessary for success in any endeavor. That I feel like I'm kind of making a fool of myself right now, to get good at anything, musical instrument, talking to girls when you're in middle school, like just anything worth doing that you want to be able to do, you're going to look kind of foolish doing it at first, but then it's going to become second nature and you'll be comfortable in that role. And this podcast for me is a great example of that. Like the first 30 or 40 episodes, I would listen to them after I recorded them and then re-record them more often than not because I felt like I wasn't doing it right. And I was meticulously watching the audio levels and now I just sit down and have a conversation with cool people from the
yeah,
community and pump it out there without any edits. Right? It's like, and I'm perfectly comfortable in the role. I'm not sitting here out of breath and sweaty. It's just part of what I do because I've done it enough. You get used to it. Going into a retail store, filling a cart with stuff that people look at you like, what's that dude doing with a cart full of adult diapers? Like, I don't, it's just product, man. I don't care. You got questions?
yeah.
Ask me. If you just want to give me weird looks, that's fine too, buddy. I really don't care. This is what I do to take care of my family, right? So I'm building a business, and if you got questions, ask. You just get bold about it. Getting
Yes, sir.
comfortable with no and weird looks and people thinking you're a little off, that's a small price to pay for the financial freedom that you guys are building and the liberty of schedule as well. How many kids
Oh
you
yeah.
guys have? You said you have some kids?
We have three boys.
Three boys? Oh, that's awesome, dude. I
Yes,
love
sir.
it. We raised four boys and a little girl. But yeah, that's so great. And they get plenty of dad time. That's vital for boys, man.
They do. Yep. They
Yeah.
do. And they actually help in the business too. We have a 3-year-old Kyler, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be the one to take over the business whenever we eventually call it quits way in the future. But every day he's like, "Hey, can I help? Can I help?" And we'll let him come in here and just move packages from like one tote to another. He's
Yeah.
not doing anything
Give him
really.
some. Yeah.
But yeah, but he thinks that, he's helping
Yeah.
mommy and daddy, and
Yeah.
that's huge.
You know what we had our kids do where starting at about that age, they're capable of it as long as they're able to focus, right? Get an hour out of them. That's a miracle, right? They want to go
Right.
play in the dirt or something after that. But for the time they're able to focus, say, see all these boxes over here, or see all these packages over here. About 50 people are going to see that package between now and when it gets to the person who is going to have it in the end of, it's going to get on a truck and it's going to get unloaded. Then it's going to get on an airplane and get unloaded and get on another truck and go to another warehouse. All these people are going to be seeing this thing. So your job, you have a very important job is I want you to make a happy picture on each of those boxes so that our family can bless other families and people who may be having a hard day can have a good day because they
Yeah,
see,
absolutely.
a smiling sunshine from a 3-year-old, right? Maybe a 4-year-old, at whatever age they're able to grasp it. That's one of the first things we had our kids doing. Or maybe it's just stickers, right? I need you to put a happy sticker on all these packages. And because then you genuinely are, I got to imagine if I'm a guy working an assembly line, hey, some kid took time to draw, have a nice day on a package. Like that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So you are contributing. They are actually, the illustration where I got the idea was the stories you can read of the concentration camps in World War II, which is kind of a dark illustration, but many parents would tell their kids, their 3, 5, 6, 7-year-old daughters and sons who were in concentration camps, hey, you have one job, and it's a very important job, and you've got to do it every day. It's vital. It could be actually life or death for some people here. Your job is to smile all day. Just wear a smile. If something's funny, you laugh, but you're always smiling. You may not feel like smiling inside, but you're going to smile anyway because the smile of a child just lights up the room, right?
Right.
So
Right.
even in the darkest places. So it's a very real thing that you're asking your kids to contribute. And they'll remember those lessons. It blows me away that, my youngest is 19 now, but they were all there yesterday, that age. And they hold on to those lessons, man. The lessons of entrepreneurship under the roof, they are going to get so many benefits that you're not anticipating. Yeah, having a business under the roof, even if it's a side thing, I think every family should do it. Every family needs to have a business that the kids can contribute to in some way. Positive ripple effects. There's zero negative ripple effects, and there's a
Right.
thousand positive ripple effects. Yeah. And you could
Yep.
become financially independent. So, yeah, there's my rant. I had to throw a couple in there today. But what else is on your mind? You've been a great guest, Vernon. It's great getting to know you, man.
Thank you. I would just say like now we're to the point where we're trying to teach our boys lessons and stuff. And for anybody that's in this community or if you're just getting started and everything, I would say our 11-year-old, we're trying to teach him, be a giver, not a taker.
Hmm.
Is so huge in today's world because everybody wants to get something. But I mean, the Bible teaches us, to give to others. That's the way to greatness. Service to man leads to greatness. And just being able to give your time, your energy, anything you have to somebody else, it always comes back, whether it's from that person or from God or just from some random person. Like I believe that it always comes back to us. So we're trying to teach our boys that. And then me and my wife, I told her whenever we started building this thing together, I was like, well, our boys, whenever they get older, they're going to look at us and they're going to say, hey, what is possible? And who do they look at for that? It's their mom and dad. What their mom and dad did
Right.
and what they saw was possible for them, they believe is
Mhm.
possible for their life many times.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're trying to run this thing up as high as we possibly can. We're trying to do everything in this life that we possibly can to show them that whatever they want to achieve in life is possible because they saw mommy and daddy giving their best like towards their goals and stuff. So I think that that's super important. Definitely be a giver. As far as your information too, like people want to hoard like all their ASINs or all their secrets and stuff like that. But I found out if you're in a small group and you guys are working together or girls are working together and you're sharing ideas, you're sharing ASINs and stuff like that, that's always going to come back to you as well.
Yes.
So run up the score as much as you can in this thing, and then make sure that you're giving of your resources and your time and stuff like that because it is always going to come back to you. I'm a true believer in both of those things.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Our community is built on the concept that we are not competitors. We're here to equip success in others, and that will come back to the community in many beneficial ways. The number of great leaders we have now, like the Olsons, they do a podcast a week. They were clueless newbies. He called himself for a long time the king of just not getting it, like just confused. But
Wow.
some people loved on him, helped him, coached him, mentored them, and now they're creating some of the most cutting edge content that's serving this whole community, content that we never would have had otherwise because they put their own spin on it, their own minds, their own experiences and connections and said, hey, you could do this with Keepa. You could mix Keepa with this tool over here and do these things and we all benefit. And it's nice because we're in a blue ocean of opportunity,
Right.
rapidly expanding blue ocean of opportunity. We're talking 1.4 billion ASINs on Amazon and growing every day. Like it would take us 30 plus years to just glance at each of them for a second. And it's growing rapidly. And that's just Amazon. Now you got Walmart coming on the scene. So we're in the right industry at the right time, the right people, the right philosophy of open handed sharing,
Right.
abundance mindset. versus scarcity mindset. It's a scarcity mindset to put on your hoodie, put on your sunglasses, put in your earbuds, and scan until a manager kicks you out, and not tell anyone how you're doing your business, and not share any of your secrets with anyone, and not surround yourself with relationships. That's a short-lived business. But if you're including relationships, that's the one thing that I say the difference between people who make it long term and the people who kind of fizzle out. Are you being intentional about building relationships and surrounding yourself
Right.
with other positive minded people who are tackling these challenges? If you do that, you're going to do great. If you don't,
That's it.
you're going to be a lone wolf and you're not going to last long. Even if you're making a ton of money, you're just not going to last long because it's going to feel isolating and that's toxic and you're just not going to find the motivation. Yeah. So I love it. Yeah, good stuff, man. You've got the right mindset. I see you on a trajectory for leadership in this community if you're open to it, for sure.
Yes, sir. I would love to help others. We're at a point in our business right now where we don't necessarily need to make more money, but my main goal was escape the 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Or like in the military, it's more hours than that oftentimes. But
sure.
I'm extremely grateful for all the military taught me and everything. But being able to be an entrepreneur and actually like wake up every day and kind of design your life how you want and to include your family and not have to miss anything is
Mhm.
that's invaluable to me. That's
Priceless.
worth it all. That's worth
Yeah,
all the work
yeah,
is being able to be there for every school event, every time my family needs me. I'm
yeah,
being able to be there for them. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
huge.
That was our reality for as we were raising our kids, and I'm so grateful for it. If the whole thing crashed and burned tomorrow and I had nothing, I'd have that. Our kids got raised with dad right here. Their mom is their teacher, complete flexibility of schedule, great relationships now that nothing can destroy because we had those years. So yeah, you're on a great path, man. Super excited for you guys. Well,
Yes,
is
sir.
there anything else on your mind before we wrap this up? I do need to get going. I got to wrap up. I got another call coming
No,
up.
yeah, I understand, sir. Nope, that's it. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on and everything. Great talk. This is my first podcast I've ever done, so I'm
You
thankful
did
to be able
great.
to do it
You
with
did
you. Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
uh,
it's a pleasure getting to know you, Vernon. And
yes, sir.
yeah, once again, thank you for your service. I deeply appreciate that. I've come from a long line of people who appreciate and were involved in the military in many ways, and so I get it, man. I that was you took the oath. You deserve our gratitude, so appreciate that. But
Thank you, sir.
yeah, I think I'll cut it off here, man. That was a good conversation. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a great day.
Thank you. And so the listeners today who've hung out with Vernon and I, hey, I've got some good news. If you enjoyed this conversation and you're thinking to yourself, man, that's cool. Do they have any more of these? Yeah, we've got about 1,000 episodes, believe it or not. We've been doing this since 2016. The vast majority of our episodes are interviews, like you just heard, with successful students from our community who have taken the ideas from this podcast, from our courses and training and coaching, and they've built something incredible. That's what we do here on this show. Real stories, real people, proving and validating that the stuff we teach here works. So if you want to hear more episodes like this, stick around, scroll back in time. Always have more coming for you. So God bless you, business building warrior. Thanks for being with us today. We'll have another great episode for you very soon. Until then, be safe, keep building.